The purpose of this video is to find the sector area and arc length for a circle. Now, understanding what that is might be a little easier if I stay with the pizza analogy that you were just working on in your notepad. Here we have a 10-inch diameter pizza. When they give you a pizza, they always measure it in diameter, not radius, to make it sound bigger. If we want to know how much pizza there is, we basically are trying to calculate the area. So we'd calculate the area. If the diameter is 10, then the radius is 5. We plug it into our area formula, and we would get 78.5 square inches. Now, what if we only wanted half the pizza? Well, same thing. We would find the area of the pizza. We would calculate it the same way and get 78.5, but we'd only want half of that, so we would take half of our answer. So 78.5 would not be the correct answer. We would take half of 78.5 and get 39.25. We took the area of the whole pizza and multiplied by the fraction of the pizza that we wanted. Now that's the idea here is we want to know the area of part of something. We find the area of the whole thing and multiply by what part we want. For example, if we have this pizza and I'm going to eat 3/4 of it, the way I'm going to figure out how much I eat is I'll find the area of the whole thing, which is 50 inches here, and I'm going to multiply by 3/4, the fraction I actually want. So I just take the total area times the fraction we want, and we get what 3/4 of this pizza would be. Now we could do this with any other shape. Here's a different shaped pizza, and we could take the area of the whole thing and multiply it by 2/3. In this case, it says somebody wants to eat 2/3 of the pizza. So to find the area of 2/3 of it, we find the area of the whole thing and multiply by 2/3. Really simple. So when we're talking about pizza, we're usually talking about circles, and that's the focus here. So we'll be talking about a circle, and we're only going to take a certain fraction of the circle. But instead of giving a fraction, we're going to give the measure of the angle. So if we got this whole pizza, but we're only going to care about 30 degrees of it, we want to know what is the area of just this slice of the pizza. Well, no problem. We do the same thing. Find the area of the whole pizza. Pi times 6 squared is going to give us 113.04. But we don't want the whole pizza, we just want this one slice. So we want to know what 30 degrees is. Well, it's 30 degrees out of 360 degrees. So that becomes the fraction that we multiply it by. So that if I want the area of a 30-degree slice, I find the area of the whole pizza, the 113.04, and multiply it by 30 degrees out of 360 degrees. In this case, that gives me 9.42. But again, the idea is we multiply the entire area, the 113.04, which we got with pi times 6 squared, times the angle that we care about over 360. And when we have a little slice like this, we call that slice, the mathematical name for it is a sector. So what we're doing is we're finding the area of a sector. To find the area of the sector, take the area of the whole circle times the angle that we care about over 360. Now the formula for this is a little scary looking, but it's still the same idea. If I want to know the area of the black part of this circle, we're going to find the area of the whole circle and turn it into a formula. It would be pi r squared, but we want to multiply that by 60 degrees out of 360. Our formula, when we simplify this, ends up looking like this. Pi r squared is just the area of the circle. R is still our radius, 6. And this symbol, if you don't remember it, theta, represents the angle. So what we do is we just take the measurements from this picture and put them in here, where r is going to be the radius and theta is the angle or central angle of our sector. So in this case, put in 6 for r, 60 for our angle, and the rest of this is a calculator problem. Just plug it in. You can find this formula. Well, you might want to write it down somewhere so you can go back and use it. And in this case, the area of just that black part of the circle, that sector, is 18.84. When we talk about part of the circumference of the circle, for example, in this case here, I've got a circle. I'm just looking for not the whole circumference, just this pink part here. Well, we call that arc length, the length of the arc. It works the same way, except we're using the circumference formula in the first part here. 2 pi r, that's the circumference of the whole circle, times what angle we want over 360. So in this case, we're going to use this formula, which you may need to write down somewhere. And we're just going to plug in 8 for our radius and 120 for our angle. And then the rest of the problem is done in the calculator. Again, this is called arc length. In this case, we'd get 16.7. Notice we just plugged in 8 for the radius and 120 for the angle. You can type the whole mess in your calculator in one shot if you like. But that is the arc length. So for one more example, if you're asked to calculate the arc length of this sector of the circle, you're going to use our arc length formula, which looks like this. For the radius, we're going to plug in 5, and for our angle, we plug in 70, and just put the numbers in, and the rest of it's a calculator problem. In this case, we get 6.1.